All right, guys. Happy Monday. It is Monday. Yes, January 31st. We are one day away from putting January 2022 in the books, which is kind of crazy. It feels like we just kicked off the new year, but we're 31 days in, almost 31 days, depending on when you're watching this, into the new year. So, pretty exciting stuff, but man, it does go pretty darn fast. Already 1 month down in the new year, which is absolutely crazy. So today on our Monday Mindset, we are going to be talking about something. I actually just wrote an email about it. Last week we did a web class. We did it on Wednesday, and it went great. We had a lot of great people on there, learned a ton, and walked away with a plan to go execute. And now it's up to them to go execute it. And we had some people that jumped in and wanted a little bit more of our own personal help and part of our community, and decided to jump into our niche properties class, which was awesome as well. So the web class was a success. Whenever we do the web classes, it's always about how can we deliver value to the people that show up, and how can we help someone if they wanted to go a little bit further with us. And so it's a win-win, right? Like, people walked away, might not have paid anything, and they got good information, and they're going to be able to implement it if they choose to. And people that are inside of our niche properties class and inside of BCA, well, we're going to be able to work a little bit more closely with them and give them our frameworks and things like that, right? So it was a success. But you do have some people that are going to walk away from that and still be stuck. And primarily what they're stuck with is choosing a niche and really settling in on that niche. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, hey, I've been listening to you for a year or many years, and I still haven't launched my website yet. I still haven't picked my niche. Years ago, it was, I still haven't picked my product, right? So we always get into this, I get stuck. And today I want to talk about, how do we get unstuck? So one way is inside of my email this morning. If you received my emails, you just received that. I literally just push send on that. So you may have gotten it, you might not have, because it takes a little time, because there's several thousand people that are getting that. So it kind of sends it out in batches. But it was speaking on that particular sticking point. Now, there's going to be other sticking points as you start to build out your business, right? We're going to talk about all of that here on the Monday Mindset, but we're going to get specific about you and how you can identify what you are stuck with and how we can get over that or overcome that. And this is an exercise you probably want to do, whenever you feel as though you're stuck and you're not making progress. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. Guys, do me a favor in the comments. Looks like we got some people rolling in right now. Let me know in the comments that you're there and you can hear and see me okay. Good morning, Scott and crew. Cole here, and expecting big snowstorm later this week. Well, get everything you need now, get inside, and hey, what better place to be but inside and working on your niche property? You know what I'm saying? What's up, Scooby Life? Hope you had a good weekend. Octavio, good to see you, brother. Awesome. And then happy Monday. Doesn't show who it is. Salama, good morning. Russ, loud and clear, my friend. What's up, Russ? Good to see you, buddy. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we're going to kick this thing off. It is Monday, so it is our Monday Mindset. And this here is something that I do want to dive into. And I do want to ask you guys, for those of you that are here live, or if you're here on the replay, let me know, what is one thing right now that you feel that you're stuck on, that one thing, right? Like, there's something that you just keep coming back to, and I'll share one of mine with you. There's two. There's two right now that I'm kind of feeling a little stuck. I need a little help. I'm going to help myself by going through this as a little therapy session for myself here. But we all experience this, so it's totally normal. All right. So let's go ahead and let's get rocking and rolling. What do you say? Here we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Monday Mindset. And if you are listening to this on a Monday, well, happy Monday. And if you're listening to this on a Wednesday, this will still benefit you. So keep listening. But today I did want to talk about something that we all experience. And it's something that could hold us back. It's something that could also play with our mind because we have these voices in our head that, they keep kind of going over the thing that we're most focusing on, like right now, like the thing that is getting all of our attention. And sometimes life gets in the way and life, happens and we start dealing with something that we have to deal with. And then that also can pull us off of what we're supposed to be focusing on. And then we feel like we're just stuck in that because we don't want to move forward because we're dealing with this over here. Right. So there's all of these different things. We have all of these, opportunities and, things that are happening in our life, or if it's just looking at our business, there's things happening in our business and all of this stuff. And what I want you to walk away with from today's Monday mindset is really identifying what that thing is that you're stuck on, and then seeing it, identifying it, and then saying, what can I do to overcome this thing? Because this one thing is probably something that you can get past, but there will be something else right around the corner as you start to climb that mountain. All right. So that's the deal, right? Like we have to understand that first and foremost. And understanding that the way that our brain works, again, I'm not a doctor or anything, but this is kind of common sense as well. Like the things that we are thinking about the most, we kind of come back to it over and over and over. And then we just get stuck because all we do is keep cycling back to that thing. We keep coming back. Like, have you ever, had an issue, right? A problem, let's call it, something that you're dealing with, and you go to bed and you're thinking about it. And then you do end up falling asleep, but then you wake up and then you're like, oh, what was I? Oh, yeah, that's right. That thing, right? We come right back to it. We're like, oh, yeah, that's the thing I'm supposed to be worrying about. And then what happens is we either don't deal with it or we do deal with it and it's not fun and we dread it. And then sometimes we avoid it and all of these things. So we do have to understand that it's a voice in our head that's coming back to it because it's a problem and we want to deal with problems. That's what we're designed as human beings to basically deal with surviving. And part of surviving is dealing with problems. All right. So let's identify, what is it? Like, what is the thing that you're stuck with right now? Okay. I'm going to give you a couple of examples, actually a few different examples. Again, this is kind of on the fly too, by the way, guys. It's our Monday mindset. If you're here live with me, welcome. If you're not here live and you're listening to this on the podcast, this is my Monday morning. All right. And again, I always kind of use these Monday mindsets to kind of get you going for the week. I don't want these things to be long and drown out, but I do want you to understand that you're not alone a lot of times, right? In thinking this, because our mindset is really so important. It's probably one of the most important things because it's either allowing us to do something or preventing us from doing something. We are the ones in control. We are. All right. So we need to understand that. And I say we, I'm talking to myself too, by the way, a little therapy session for myself. All right. So like right now, I got a lot of things going on, right? Got a lot of things. And I'm just talking business side of things, right? And so when I did the pivot from The Amazing Seller, any of you that are here live, if you're The Amazing Seller back in the day listener, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I would love to know. If you're listening to this, you can, just acknowledge that, yes, you were a listener and maybe still are a listener, which is awesome. So when I was doing that pivot, that was a big deal because I knew that if I stayed on the Amazon train, right, I was still selling e-commerce stuff and, products and all that stuff. So I was teaching it, but then I started to get out of that and started to go more into this space that I'm at now, which is this niche properties. So I had everything dialed in on The Amazing Seller, but now as I moved over on the pivot of teaching just about building niche properties and more digital side of things and all that stuff, I took a little bit of a hit because now I was moving away from the topic that everyone was coming to me for, right? And so now one of the sticking points for me is finding a really, really good front end offer that answers the problem or solves the problem for someone right now where they are in their journey, but then would bring those people into my world. That's something that I have been struggling with since we made the pivot, to be honest with you. But I'm constantly testing new offers, right? And I don't even mean an offer that's like, a $300 offer, a $600 offer, a $1,000 offer, none of that stuff. I'm talking like a $7 offer, $20 offer, $37, like all of these little offers to really see what resonates with someone the most, that I could help them with the most, that brings in the right person. So I'm constantly, thinking about that, right? What is something that I could get? Because if you get that front end offer right, everything else just follows. I have another one of our niche properties that we're starting to build out in other areas now. My wife and I were just talking about this yesterday in the car on our hour and 45-minute trip to volleyball. And we're just talking about like what we would do in this to create a front end offer on top of all of the blog traffic that we're getting and all of this stuff. Cause now we have this blog traffic coming in. And what can we do with this, right? We need to come up with a front end offer. Okay. Not just a lead magnet, not a free lead magnet. I'm talking a paid offer. So this is something that we're constantly testing and thinking about. Now, are we stuck there right now? No. Okay. I'm not stuck there because I'm doing something about it. And the difference there is I'm acknowledging that that's my sticking point. I know that if we can fix that one problem, all right, that one thing, then we can move on to the next thing. Now it's like, okay, how do we fulfill it? How do we add more products to the pipeline? Or how do we add more traffic now that we've got that one thing solved? So you're always going to have these next things around the corner, but the thing that we're focusing on is front end offer. It doesn't matter if it's in one of our niche properties and we're going to start building that out bigger, not just on our ad money, or if it's in our brand creators brand, right? Where we're figuring out the best offer there. Okay. So we are not stuck because we're identifying where we are, we're acknowledging it, but we're trying different things to overcome that. Okay. Now, if we were sitting here and just thinking about front end offers and just thinking about them and just writing them down and thinking and not actually putting them out there in the marketplace, we would never know. So another perfect example is people that are, and we just experienced this because we did a web class the other week. We had people that have questions about picking the right niche and we show them how to do it and all that stuff. But even though you show them how to do it, they're still stuck. So we need to get them unstuck. Well, I have a training called Niche Finder Fast Track Workshop, right? So today, literally today, and if you're listening to this later, this won't be active as of that time. But I basically said, hey, if you're stuck there, I wrote an email, said, hey, if you're stuck there, let me know, reply back, niche help, and I will send you my Niche Finder Fast Track Workshop for $7 when you do a trial to BCA. But again, is it going to work? I don't know, right? But I'm doing something to help my audience, but also something to test an offer, right? So we're constantly doing that because that is a problem that we need to solve, right? Front end offer, that's that problem, right? If it's content creation, and maybe it's like, I can't find a great writer yet. Well, I got to keep trying new writers until I find the one, but I'm not going to give up, right? I'm just going to keep going. I'll give you another example, and this is in business. Working out. Like I have been wanting to get back into working out consistently, and I have been, but not as much as even I want to. Like I'm saying, like I want to work out 3 to 4 times a week. Why can't I do that? Why has my mind not allowed me to do that when I know I've got enough time, right? So that comes down to discipline, right? And actually my son, who's 23, he's really into it now. So now he's always, sending me pictures or telling me he's working out this, that, and the other. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to start working out again. So it's kind of nice because I got a little bit of a kick in the butt there. But what's stopping me? Like I gotta ask myself, what is stopping me? Priorities, right? I don't have the discipline I used to have. So now I need to acknowledge it, admit it, and then I need to do something about it. How can I fix that? Well, I need to maybe set up a time every single week, like it's an appointment, and then stick to it. And if I don't, something's going to happen. I don't know what, but I have to come up with something, right? So the main takeaway here is you need to figure out and get real with yourself. What is your sticking point? What is your sticking point? What are you stuck with right now that you've been messing around with for 3 weeks or a month, right? And why are you still stuck there? Okay. So if you do that, you will then be able to create what's next, the plan of attack. Like, what are we going to do to fix that? So I just went through the working out thing. How am I going to get myself in the gym 4 days a week? Like 4 days a week would be perfect. I'm getting in there right now about 3 days a week. How do I get there to the fourth? Well, I need to create my schedule that is basically that first, everything else gets built around it in a sense, right? Like, what is the appointment? It's going to take me 35 to 40 minutes for the workout. He'll figure an hour total by the time you start and stop, stretching and all that stuff. I need to put that in there. I need to get disciplined about that, right? So that's it. Like, that's the plan. I've gotten real with it. I've identified it, something I've struggled with, and now I just got to do something about it. Same thing with if you're stuck with, oh, I've been wanting to build a niche property now for 6 months, 8 months. I've been listening to Scott. I want to do this, but I just haven't yet because I haven't found that niche yet. I would rather find a niche that you think might be okay and then do the work to get that thing going and learn everything within it, and then keep my eyes and ears open for maybe the niche that I really want to build, right? But at least you're doing something and getting past that sticking point, because if we don't get past the sticking point, guess what? We can't have any chance of getting a result, right? So same thing with, well, I can't find any good keywords in my my niche. Well, we got to deal with that. How do we do that? Well, we go through and we figure out that part of the equation. Like, what? Because without finding good keywords and topics to write about, we can't write about them. If we can't write about them, we can't publish. If we can't publish, we can't get traffic, right? So it all kind of goes together. So identify that one sticking point. What are you stuck on right now? Get real with it. Okay. Even write it down if you want, and then write down, what is it going to take to get past that? And then maybe even give yourself a deadline to at least have a plan in place that you can execute. Without execution, it's just an idea, right? It's just something that you wrote down, right? We can all fill notepads with a whole bunch of ideas, but until we actually do it, meaningless. It got nothing to show for it. All right. So guys, hopefully this has helped you. All right. And this is, our Monday mindset. This is really, really important. Our mindset is so important, and discipline is so important. And let me share one other example here, or, thing that happened. And this goes with anyone, right? So my daughter's beach volleyball player, and she is determined that she wants to do this and she wants to get better and all of this stuff. But there's, she's a young player. So a young player might have a tougher time finding, partners of, equal or better caliber. But the thing is like, what do you do about that? Like, what do you do about that struggle of, like, you're in this kind of weird place to where, it might be a little bit harder. So what do you do? Well, you continually put in the work, get the reps, as we say, get better, and just keep focusing on that, and everything else will fall in. The other thing is patience, right? Patience is hard. How do you have patience and still get a result? Well, patience is kind of like building a blog, right? You need patience, but you can still do the work, find the keywords, publish content, optimize it. But being patient means waiting and letting it kind of do its thing. Same thing. If you're training, doesn't mean you're going to go to practice tomorrow, do a whole bunch of reps, and then the next day you're going to immediately be better. No, it's over and over and over and over again. Just like an Olympian. Olympian will tell you it's a lot of work that goes in before they actually, hit the slopes, or, do the, their whatever 100, whatever it is, 400 meters, or whatever the different sports are for it, or the different events. But you get what I'm saying, right? There's a lot of work that goes up to that point. A lot of training, a lot of reps, and being patient, and knowing that the more that we do this, the more that we get into this routine of repetition and consistency and showing up, it's a good chance that we're going to get a result. Okay. So guys, that's your Monday mindset. Think about that. That's your homework. I want you to identify, what is your sticking point? What are you stuck with right now? And then after you identify it, write down 1 or 2 things that you can do immediately to help you move forward. All right. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, have an awesome, amazing day. And I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Now go on out there, make it happen. Cut. All right, guys. Do we have any quick questions? I know that was a little, I was a little bit of a rant, I guess, maybe. I'm feeling pretty passionate about that because it's what I believe in. And we all need it. We all need to hear it. I need to hear it, right? It's almost like myself speaking it and then hearing it back from myself to hear and going, yeah, you know what? I need to do that, which I do. Again, like a lot of this stuff that I just went over is things that I am telling myself constantly. All right. It's constant. You have to also know that we are going to doubt ourselves. We are going to feel it's not going to work for us. We're going to have these doubts, and they're just part of who we are, and for different reasons. You might have tried something in the past and it didn't work, or you've seen other people do it and it worked for them, but it's not going to work for you. Like those types of things. So we have to understand that it's normal, but we have to also understand that we are in control of the mindset. And that is the one thing that we do have full control over, is what we feed our mind. And if you're on social media and you're seeing people that are living these beautiful lives and everything is perfect, it's not reality. And we all know that, but we like to see it, but it's not reality. Reality doesn't mean that life's bad. It just means you got to understand that life does have some ups and downs, and we have to deal with them. We have to work through them. And that actually makes us stronger, makes us more resilient. So welcome it, but also overcome it, I think, is the big one. All right. So let's see here real quick. What's up, Deanna? Troy, what's up? High fives, brother. Let's see. Okay, starting is the hardest part. It seems so overwhelming in the beginning. I thought, how will I know what I'll need to do next? After starting that, took care of itself. One thing led to another. Yeah. Deanna, I have severe imposter syndrome. I'm capable of doing a little bit of a lot of things, but don't feel qualified to instruct anyone on anything as far as a niche properties blogging. And I can't sell myself as far as my laser hobby / business. It feels pushy. Deanna, I'd have to see exactly what you're doing and kind of like where you are at. I think the imposter syndrome a lot of times is because you're like, well, who am I to teach this? You know what I mean? Or who am I to share my expertise, right? It might not even be expertise. It might be like, hey, listen, I've never done this over here. You have. Can you show me what you did? And I'll pay you for that, or I'll opt in for that. Like you have to think about it that way. And that takes a lot of pressure off, right? I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, if you listen to me, I know everything. I don't. I'm learning things, but I'm being open and honest. And I think that's what also makes people really, really gravitate to you. And it takes the pressure off of you, right? If someone came into my world and I was all uptight about how I talk and how I pronounce things and, write even, I would never do it. But I know that some people are going to have those opinions, and the people that I want are going to be like, yeah, it's kind of just like we're hanging out, and I get it, right? Like we all say things that are not 100%, right, or the way that it sounds. And again, I'm just using that as an example. But yes, imposter syndrome is real, and a lot of people have it. And I believe that over time, it becomes easier as you start to get that validation from people, just like you being here right now, being like, hey, Scott, I need some help. And I'm here to help you the best that I can from my own experience. I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to fix your problem personally, but I can help just by giving this little bit of advice. So hopefully that helps. Let's see. Yes, awareness precedes change. Octavio, yes. I am stuck with a nurture sequence with testing a lot of lead magnets. Well, in something like that, here's the deal. Almost like a front end offer here, Salma. If you're testing a whole bunch of lead magnets and you're putting together a nurture sequence in place, well, you have to find out what the lead magnet is first before you build that long nurture sequence, right? Because you could have 10 different lead magnets and then have to build out 10 nurture sequences and find out that only one of those lead magnets is really worth building a sequence for. So I would start on the front end and only focus on that lead magnet that's just crushing it. And then I'd start to build the sequence on the back end. To me, it's like, how can we test something very, very quickly? And then we can build it out, build it out like from there. So I would say the way to get unstuck there is only focus on the lead magnet, do a little follow-up sequence, maybe 2, 3 emails, and then just keep testing that lead magnet until you say, you know what, this is a winner. This is who I want to bring into my world. Because that's all a lead magnet is really doing, right? It's getting the right people that are raising their hand. You have a crowd of people and you're like, hey, who here is interested in gardening? And you got like, I don't know, maybe 25% of the people raise their hand. They're like, okay, cool. Can you slide over there? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, okay, how many of you are interested in vertical gardening? And then half of those people go over. Those are the people that you want to target, right? So you have to understand that that lead magnet is like a front end offer in a sense, just you're offering it for free. That's also allowing you to see how well is it received. And then you can go from there. So that's what I would say on that. Octavio, adding 1 new post and 1 additional workout day per week as a goal, baby steps to even more, but I want a small win to prove I can do it. And I love that. I love it because here's the deal. These small little things build up over time. It's kind of like the compound effect, right? The book, The Compound Effect, great book, talks about this. It's like a stock, right? Over time, it's going to compound. Same thing here. And you're going to start building that muscle, and I mean muscle of like repetition, right? And that's what we want to do. But I'm with you, man. I'm with you on adding 1 new post, but for that 1 workout, I'm going to do, like I said, like I got to plan it out to where like right now I'm doing like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to add a 4th day in there. But yeah, I love it. Thanks for sharing that. Alpondro, hey, professor. Obstacle is the price of experience. Quick question. What is your experience using Tailwind for Pinterest for expanding article awareness? To be honest with you, we are using it, but I don't know if it's 100% necessary. It does allow you to kind of put the pins in there and then, get them like recirculating. But I don't know if that would be worth focusing a whole bunch of time on. I think once you get it set up, it's fine. Because then all you're going to do is you're just going to, every new post that you create, you're going to create a new pinnable image. And then that pinnable image will reside on your blog, but also reside inside of your Pinterest account on one of your boards. But then what Tailwind will do is it'll also add it to other boards automatically. So I would say I'm not a huge fan of automation when it comes to social media or Pinterest, but we do use it right now, but we're not spending a lot of time with it. Gabrielle, I'm watching from Nigeria. That's awesome. I love hearing that. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is it. Here's what I did. I did want to ask you guys something though, real quick before we do end up wrapping up. Speaking of like front end offers, so Chris and I are working on something right now, and I would love your feedback on this because there's people right now struggling with finding their niche. Okay, I think we have that covered with our Niche Finder Fast Track Workshop, but we're really looking at how do we find people that are up and running, and they're even creating some content already, but they're struggling with another big sticking point, which is keyword research. We're thinking about creating a little micro course in a sense. I say micro, it'll be like 3 videos of us walking through 3 different strategies for finding various keywords, long tail, giving examples of what we're using currently right now. And a lot of these are getting ranked very, very quickly, and they're bringing in traffic. This would be for people that are, within the first 6 months of their build, and then people that are, even 3 to 4 years into their build. So I'm just curious if you have any questions on keyword research that would help us develop this. We're going to probably be announcing it through email probably this Friday. I'll be mentioning it. We're going to probably do like a little pre-launch. It's going to be very, very affordable, almost, it's going to be very, very affordable. And we're doing that because, again, we want to come up with a crazy front-end offer that's attracting the people that we want to see inside of Brand Creators Academy. And I think those people are people that are already somewhat up and running and building and have a little bit of traction, but need help expanding and growing it. So if you have any questions or anything that you guys would like to see inside of that training, let me know. Drop it in the comments, and I'll go ahead and read through them if you guys have anything, and then we'll go from there. But I'll keep you guys notified. And if you are on the email list, you'll be hearing more about it. If you're not on the email list, head on over to takeactioncrew.com. Again, that's takeactioncrew.com. And you can go over there. You can jump on the email list where I send out usually 3 emails a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with some tips, things that are going on, and things that can help you. So if you're interested, jump on that list. All right, guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, like I said, take care, take action, have an awesome, amazing day. Get out there, make it happen, have an awesome day, and get some stuff done and figure out what that sticking point is. And let's conquer that today. All right, guys, take care.